This is The Law Show on CL 650. Now back to the show.
Bet you didn't know there are words to that. You got to see Ted, too. Check it out. It's The Law Show on CIL 650. I'm Sterling Fox. Joe Murphy and Alex Sayn-Wittgenstein are with us in the studio today from Murphy Battista LLP, Vancouver personal injury lawyers, downtown at 650 West Georgia, and online at murphybatista.com. We're talking wrongful death issues on the program this morning. We've talked to Alex about the medical malpractice scenario in which you've had some cases, and we've talked about car accidents, Joe, and of course you've had more than your share of those. What about a workplace accident where someone is killed on the job? Is that a wrongful death scenario, or is that treated differently in BC?
The law, Sterling, says that if someone's killed while working, they usually get WorkSafe or WCB benefits. If the person who caused the death, in the standard scenario of a work site, is also working, then that's all the person can get or the family can get is the WorkSafe or WCB benefits. So for most people killed on the job, it's those benefits and nothing else. If the person who caused the death isn't working, then there's a potential lawsuit by the family against that person. But the involvement of WCB makes that quite complicated. Okay.
Alex, anything to add to workplace scenarios?
Yeah, there is a benefit to the WCB legislation. It might prevent you from bringing a lawsuit, but at the same time, if your loved one was at work and died as a result of their own fault, in other words, they did something themselves that caused their death, then you're still going to have some benefits that come to you. And that's what it's a no-fault situation.
Okay. All right. Talking in terms of a wrongful death, when it comes to seeking legal advice, I mean, it's such a tragic time in anyone's life when you lose someone close to you, Joe. And if there are suspicious circumstances surrounding it, it makes it even more difficult to emotionally wrap your head around, but all the more reason, I should think, to require the assistance of a legal professional.
Exactly, Sterling. And the key is, if you contact a lawyer, you will get information, and that information is what you need in order to make a decision of where to go from there. Do you want to hire a lawyer? Do you want to not? And oftentimes in death claims that are worth little or nothing, we'll say to people, you don't want to sue. Here's what you want to do to put this thing behind you, so you can then deal with the terrible grief and devastation the family's suffering.
Right. And Alex, as always, when we talk about Murphy Battista and those initial conferences, whatever the case may be that brought you to the firm that suggest, I need to talk to a lawyer, that initial conversation is always free, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And our purpose is then to look at the claim and see whether it's something that's going to be viable. It's going to be a claim that can actually be made out and be worth pursuing for the person on the other end of the line. And sometimes that takes a lot of work on our part, especially in a malpractice case where we look through records, we get those, and then we provide the advice. But there's no charge for that. And there's no obligation on the part of the people to stay with us if they want to go elsewhere. But usually they don't.
But at least they have, again, information, and information in any scenario, especially when it's unfamiliar territory, is power. It really
Knowledge
is important.
Power, yes.
Absolutely. Yes. As far as this draconian Family Compensation Act, under which we still function in British Columbia, various attempts have been made to change it. One came close in 2011. What can people do to move the government? I know that, Joe, you mentioned MAD has been on this one for a number of years. Is there any way citizens can participate in getting this thing turned around?
Well, the only solution would be to approach your MLA and approach the party in power and say, we want this changed. But the parties in power over the last 3 or 4 decades have all been asked to change it, to update it, to make this law modern.
Right.
And none of the parties has done anything. So how is it going to be changed in the future? I don't know, but I hope it is, because the law as it stands today is an ass.
Right. And as far as Mothers Against Drunk Driving, which you've referred to now a couple of times, a good place to learn more about it would be on their website, as
Yes.
this is a particular cause they've been supporting for a number of years.
Yes.
Okay, and speaking of websites, murphybatista.com is a great place to go to learn a lot about not only the firm and the people in it and find out how to contact them, phone numbers, emails, and all that sort of thing, but it's an excellent website as well. It's a good resource, Joe. You've done a great job on developing the website.
Thank you, Sterling.
Not at all. Alex Sayn-Wittgenstein, good to meet you again. Thanks for coming back for your second appearance on The Law Show. Let's hope it's not your last.
Great, thank you.
Joe Murphy, always a pleasure, sir. Do come back frequently.
Thank you, Sterling.
And we'll see you next time, right here on The Law Show.